How are we all? How are we all? Wow. Wow. How do I explain that? Do you know what? I'll start off with this. I remember when I was a kid and I used to go watch the latter end of the Champions League, very latter end, I think the last season before it all went bad. Um, and we had the players, the Mark Vidukas, the Alan Smiths, those guys, my footballing idols. I used to go watch them, and those were the guys, the nights at Ellen Road, watching that team, watching them was what inspired me to love this sport. I wanted to be them. I was watching them, and I wanted to be them. I wanted to be them. They inspired me. And last night at Ellen Road, I felt like that kid again. I was stood in there, just looking around like I was when I was that little kid, just like that, taking it all in. This dreamland I was in, this little boy in this big stadium I was when I was a kid, taking all this in, thinking, "Wow, this is pretty good." No, lost for words. Didn't know what to say. Didn't know what to think. But I knew it was beautiful. I knew it was special. And that's what this club does when we get it right. Nothing is like it. And I was looking at them players last night, watching them players. I'm looking at Joe Perot, and I just feel like that's Mark Viduka. That look, talking. I'm not obviously a completely different profile of player. But I'm looking at it thinking that's Mark Viduka. That I'm looking at Nonto going, that's Aaron Lennon. I love Aaron Lennon, and it inspired me. It really did. It truly did. Looking at Archie Gray, going, that's James Milner. And that's what this club does. It inspires you. It inspires you to want to be good. It inspires you to want to achieve your dreams and your goals. It's beautiful. It really is. And that's what the atmosphere was last night. It was beautiful. It was absolutely crazy, but it was also beautiful at the same time. I've never felt that in my life, and it inspired me. It gave me so much belief in these players and these people that they can achieve anything they want. If them and the crowd combined and the players play, use that crowd's energy as a way to drive them in their performance, this team can be unstoppable. I don't think anyone at this level could beat us or even come close if we put them two together. I was truly inspired last night. I felt like that little kid again. And that's what you want to feel when you go watch football. Those moments where you can just sit there, well, stand there and just look around. It's beautiful. That's what it is. Sport. The reason I got into this, the reason I wanted to be them on the pitch when I was a kid, because I was watching them being inspired. I was the same last night. That's why I want to talk about Archie Gray real quick. A boy who was that guy, that lad. I know for any lad and lass out there that's watching this, Archie Gray was that. Archie Gray was that. Now he's the one who's been a hero in this season, been a hero in these games, stepping up to the plate. At the end of the game, he stood there looking around, being that boy again. You know, I did it from the stands, he did it from the pitch. Just stood there looking around, taking everything in. He made it. The dream we all had as a kid, playing as a professional footballer, and a lot of you playing for Leeds United. The dream we had when we went to the stadium, which inspired us to have that dream. Archie had that same dream, and he's doing it. And seeing opposition fans online when he has a quiet performance and he's overrated, he's rubbish, he'll never play for England. Why? Why try bringing a lad down like that? He's 18. He's a kid. He's an adult now, technically, but he's a kid. A lad who had a dream and a desire to become a professional footballer, and he's now doing it. The club he loves, the club he supports, the club he sat in the stands for his entire life. Pressure of his family behind him to achieve what they did. He's doing it. Don't give up on this kid. Any opposition fan that says overrated, you will be wrong. In a few years, you will see how wrong you are. You're already wrong. Watch where he's going to go. What a moment for that young man. What an inspiring moment. See him at the end of the game, stood there, just in the middle of the pitch, taking the crowd in, was something that I went, yeah, you've made it, son. You've made it. Truly beautiful. Talk about the goalkeeper real quick. That save. Is there a bigger single moment? I don't think so. I don't think there is. If we'd have won 1-0, maybe that's a bigger moment. But is there a single bigger moment than that at 2-0? I don't think so. That goes in, that's 2-1. That can change a lot, can't it? Maybe it wouldn't have, but it could have. What did he do? He took responsibility. He stood strong. He read the position. He read the opposition. He knew exactly what he was going to do, and he saved it. And that's what you want your keeper to do in these moments. He looked confident again tonight. That's a frustration. Why has that switch happened? You know? And that's frustration with Elan I've always had. Genuinely, it's not his ability. When he's confident, I think he's really good. When he's not, he isn't. I just need to be more confident because he can do stuff like that. One moment in a game he had, and he was unbelievable in it. And that was absolutely massive. That was a huge moment. Huge. What a save. Fair play, Elan. Fair play to you, my friend. Everyone on the pitch, I'm just thinking about every player and what they could have brought and what they did. But everything I think about, I just think of one word, and that's responsibility. Every player on that pitch did their job the way they should have done it, and more. And that's all that you require your team to do as a coach. Go out there and do what I say and more. Add your sprinkle of creativity in there. Add your sprinkle of unknown quantities in there. Do what you want, but play the way we play with your own personality. And they played with their own personality. I'm looking at Joe Rodon winning every header. Do that. We need you to do that. But then driving past 3 or 4 men with the ball and winning a free kick. Took responsibility for the situation. There's no pass. There's a space. I'll run into it. Fine. Took a risk. Took responsibility. Ampadu. Again, unbelievable at the back. The leader, our captain, the man. Got beat once. His goalkeeper took responsibility of the situation and saw the striker didn't score. Apart from that, Ampadu was excellent. He led that back line. He led the intensity from the back. He really did. Him and Rodon winning everything in the air. Any tackle, any through ball, they were there. They ran their arse off last night. They absolutely did. To make sure that game looked easy. Because it was periods where it wouldn't have been, but they made it look easy because they were so on it. Them Norwich players had no space. And they were moving a lot, but they had no space for most of the time. Because them two didn't allow it. Junior Firpo has been an absolute revelation. And look, people, he's had a bad few years. It's never really worked out at Leeds. Let's be real. It is now. Right now, in this moment, since January, it's worked out for him very well. And he's performing more consistently than anyone. More consistently than anyone, you could argue. Yeah, another player that took responsibility. He's improving as well. Defensively, he is. Look, Junior, he'll always have his moments. He will. That's the player he is. That's his personality. That's him. No one's perfect, people. But his aggression is becoming more effective now. I remember in the Premier League, and again, look, quicker wingers than that. But the timing of his tackles is different. His pressing is better. He's not in too much space cut out. He still switches off every now and again. But last night he was excellent. Wanted to get 2 assists. Constant threat up and down, getting up and down. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Elia Gruev. What a moment. What a moment from that man. You know, he turned around and looked at the bench and went in swinger or out swinger. He did that. And obviously they said, out. It was a goalkeeper's front post. They clearly identified that is something, you know, Gunn can do. He stays quite wide. But you still got to execute it. Still got to get over the wall, the one-man wall, and into that corner. And he did. That's a player. You know what? We could have easily just got that in the box. No, we didn't want to. We took the risk. We took responsibility and saw we can score here. We took it. We won't usually do that from there. We wouldn't. But we did. And we executed it. And that's what you need. That's what I'm loving this team. That's what I need this team to do. They're all so talented. I said it all year. So when they don't perform, I'm frustrated. Because they've got this performance in the locker more than once. They've got it. They've got it. It's all there. They played for the manager. All this rubbish. But this splits in camp. It's all BS. Stop it. None of it's true. Stuff about Somerville and Perot. Look when Perot scored. Look who the first person to jump on his back was. All rubbish. Honestly, I don't believe any of it. Football teams argue. Players fall out. It happens every day, people. Trust me. There's always little arguments. Always a little bit of annoyances. Players fall out with coaches because they don't play or whatever. You get over it. Get over it. Maybe there was an argument. Maybe there was a disappointment. They've gotten over it. It's finished. It wouldn't have lasted more than a day. They'd have got over it. Maybe it's like a brother thing. Maybe he's like a brother to him, as they're both from the same country. Maybe one day he loves him, one day he can't stand him. That's fine. It's like your best mates, isn't it? One day you can't stand him, one day you love him. Come on. This team is together. This team wants this. This team shown last night when they harness that crowd what they can be. And it is truly beautiful. They're together more than anything. They're playing for the manager. They're playing for the manager more than anything. Playing for everyone. They're playing for us. They're playing for them. They're playing for the manager. They know how now. They know what that looks like. They know what that means. Glenn Kamara. What a player. Again, a player I criticised at times because I'm looking at him going, he's better than that. He's much better than that. Look, he's had this illness. Not anymore. Dictated the game. Didn't control the game. Dictated it. Completely and utterly dictated that game. Inspiring watching him last night. I'm seeing combinations we're making. It's not slow combinations. It were quick combinations. Sharp combinations. That's Farkaball, people. I told you I did the video on the Norwich, the comparisons. How quick they moved the ball. How free they were on the ball. That's what they did. When they went forward, relentless. Forward runners, running hard and fast forward. That's what we did. Glenn Kamara dictated all of that. From defence to attack, Glenn Kamara dictated everything. Gruev dictated everything defensively. Even Gruev's passing was a lot rangy now. He did some forward, he did some back. He's taking risks with passes. Glenn Kamara took risks, going forward a lot more. Joe Perot's movement was excellent to receive it in there. The team came together. Everyone played their role. The energy from the fullbacks, the energy from the wingers, the energy from Joe Perot. When needed, the energy from the centre-backs. Glenn Kamara dictated all that. Any midfielder out there, young midfielder watching that, watch Glenn Kamara. That's how you put an 8 performance right there. Risks when it needed to be, played solid and safe when it needed to be. Positionally excellent, dictated the game. Didn't do anything unbelievable. Doesn't have to. Don't want him to. Maybe once or twice. I've seen Kamara go on a run, taking 3 on. He's capable of that as well, by the way, apparently. This guy's got everything. Genuinely, he has. Just his role is so secure that maybe he doesn't quite do these things, or maybe, he probably shouldn't. But it's one or two times where he took 3 of them on and then passed it out wide. I'm going, yeah, that's a player there. That's a player that can do a bit of everything. Shout out to Glenn Kamara. I thought he was unbelievable. The wingers, how can we talk about these two? The mischievous duo. Little Bezes, little best friends. I love them too. I really do. Had the problems. We can just hopefully now can people get off Somerville's back for whatever strange reason? Suddenly Somerville's this guy that don't want to be here. I have no idea where that comes from. Well, people have bad months. People had bad weeks. People have bad games in life and in football. It happens. You lose your real deep confidence. You lose your form. It happens. Every single footballer in every season has a period like that. Every one of them. That doesn't mean they don't care. That means they're beating themselves up. So it might look like that. It might look like they're not trying. Because they need to get out of that headspace and believe in themselves more. Beat yourself up. Because believe me, footballers' critics, the biggest critics in a football is themselves. Somerville said that in an interview before, many times. He's his biggest critic. So when he stood at the back when everyone's clapping the away fans, he stood at the back clapping. He's disappointed in himself. because he's a winner. He wants to win. He's confident in himself, and he's lost a bit of it, and he doesn't know why, and he's trying to figure it out. Doesn't mean he don't want to be here. It's a load of rubbish. He wants to be here because he wants to improve for the team. Stop that rubbish, man. About Somerville. Someone complaining because he got a picture of himself on the wall. I would if I were him. Who cares? That's a sick picture. I'd be having one right here if I was him. If I played in that stage and I'm doing this, I'd do it. Who cares? He's rating himself. Good. I hope he does, because that means he's better for us. Who cares? Let the kid play. He's confident and I love it. He's a great guy to have around the team, clearly. The manager said nothing but good things about him all season. Him and Nonto have a great relationship, which is good. That's just healthy. Them two were excellent again. Nonto's cross, by the way. Oh my God. You know what? They were trying to wind him up, Nonto, all game. They were. Julian Eulis was pushing him, barging him, laughing at him, saying stuff to him. Nonto just smiled back at him. What you on about, mate? I'm better than you. You can try get in my head. That means I've won already. So I'm better than you. So you have to get in my head. Didn't work. He was really mature tonight, Nonto. Really mature. Less moaning. Worked his backside off going forward. His runs were so direct and the timing was excellent. Unlucky with some finishes. I thought, the one they hit straight at goal, he actually hit really well, kind of too well. He went straight at him. But yeah, really good tonight, Nonto. Really good. I'm really impressed with him. Him and Somerville. Those two are huge for us in this final. In the Wembley final. Those two are huge, by the way. Massive. I can't stress how big they are. Wow. Let's hope they play like that one more time. One more time. Yeah. We know what we're going to talk about now. I'm leaving my guy till last. Joe Perreault, though. This is a player that struggled to fit the way we play. He has. I think that's fair to say. He's been too hesitant on the ball. He's lost the ball in silly areas. Even the confidence side of it, his touch has not been on. He's looked slow compared to the rest around him, which has, not really helped in attacks. He's had his moments as well this season where he has been really good. At the Ipswich game and other games where he's coming with good goals, decent goals. Last night, Joe Perreault was an animal. A different one. And this is why I don't give up on people. This is my biggest flaw, and something that probably helped me the most is that I don't give up on people. Footballers particularly. I don't give up on them. Because you got to understand, to get to where they are, how good you have to be to get where they are. I might see some of the best players I've ever played with in my life, and they won't even make it to the Football League. Not even close. How crazy it is to get to where they are. Insane. The level to get to where they are is insane. These people are winners. Born winners. That's why they are where they are. Because they are winners. And when they're struggling, I always try and be constructive in the way I talk about it, and not just say they're rubbish. Why are they not performing well? What is happening? How can they be better? That's what my role is, in work and stuff. That's what I have to do. Even though it might be difficult to consider that, there's always a way that this footballer can be better. Always. How can we make them fit? And last night, Joe Perreault fit. And that helps for the team around him to step up. Because when he got the ball, straight away he knew exactly what he wanted to do with it. And the execution of the pass was excellent. His first touch was better. The movement he did, both to feet and in behind, was excellent. It was quicker. I saw Joe Perreault run down the wing and take 2 or 3 people on. That's because he's playing with confidence, and he took the energy of the crowd into his own legs and used it. That's what I mean. The players mentally found a switch where the crowd now is suddenly makes them unstoppable, makes them quicker, makes them more confident. It's massive in football. Huge. And Joe Perreault was the biggest reason. You could see last night. That's a number 9. And that's how he can be effective. I said Joe has to go away in the summer and really work on himself, and how really watch the footage back and spend a lot of time with the coaches and the analysts to develop his game in this system. Because he's talented. He can score goals. That's what he's been doing in his career for the last 4 years. That's what he does. So how can you fit the rest of his game around that? And he needs to watch that performance last night and look at what he did and where he chose to move and where the passes were. He does that, he'll work. You can't just use one game as a barometer to say it's working. and say that's the reason it does work. So how do we replicate that? That's what Joe Perot needs to do. That's what he needs to do. Because he's effective he's so effective last night. I was really impressed with Joe Perot. Fair play to him. Fair play. I know why you're all here. The final one. Oh boy. Georgie. Wow, everyone give up on him. And just to clarify, I understand. I was probably wrong to not. I was probably deluded to not. I was on Joe's show and everyone didn't want to start him. And again, I wanted to. I said, no, I'm playing him. He's one of our best players. And they were right. They were probably right. That's the truth of it. Because he wasn't performing well for a while, so you shouldn't play the guy. In fact, he's probably been more of a hindrance in the last few games. So you don't play the guy. There's one moment, though, against Norwich in the first leg. One moment where he got took off. He punched, was it the chair or the side of the tunnel? The dugout, sorry. And I've never seen that from him when he gets took off. When he's played bad and he gets took off, he usually just claps, walks off, sits down. Very meek, very shy. But that game against Norwich, the first playoff game, he was angry. And I saw that and thought, is that him taking responsibility? Is that him realising that this isn't good enough? Maybe George's way of reacting to not being good enough has always been to just relax, it's fine, I'll get better. But maybe in that moment he realised, this ain't good enough. What am I doing? We're sinking here because I'm not performing the level I should. And I'm big in this team. And that moment made me realise that maybe he's found that now. Maybe this week in training, that moment coming off and realising that he was not good is the reason that made him this killer last night, because he was that. That was the player that I wanted to see. That was the player I've been sticking up for the last few weeks when everyone's been saying he's not been good, because he hasn't. But when everyone wanted him to be dropped, that's the player that I was waiting for. I'm so glad he showed last night. We needed him. Look, and this is another one. People say he should have given this, he should have scored this, he should have passed it here. People, no one's perfect. I keep saying this. If they were, they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be in the Championship. We have a young group of talented players, and Jorginho's ceiling is massive. Massive. And he was really good last night. But lost the ball in silly areas at times. That's on him, and that's the responsibility he's got. Daniel Farke had a word with him. You could see Daniel Farke was saying, I like what you're doing, that's good. But be careful. And that's not Daniel Farke saying, don't do it. That's Daniel Farke saying, if you do lose it in that area, that's on you, and that is your fault. That's the risk you take. That's where he needs to find the confidence. That's where he needs to choose when he does it. And that's about learning and developing as you get older, looking at the match footage back and looking where you do it and where you shouldn't do it. That's fine, because that's the player he is. That's the person he is. That's the player he is. That's his freedoms. That's what he plays with. It's about taming them and just understanding when's the right time to use it. You don't want to take it away. It's understanding when the best time to use it is. I think for the most part, he got it right last night. He was mature. He played with not anger, but real desire to impress that crowd. I'm so glad he got that goal. I'm so glad he got that goal right in front of me as well. It was truly a beautiful moment. He's a beautiful footballer when he plays on that pitch. He really is. When he's good, when he's at it, he is the best player to watch. He is the player that gets the crowd going. He is the player that makes you smile more than anyone. Yeah, I'm happy for Georgie. I'm happy for all of them. Don't give up on these players, people. Don't give up on them. They're all talented. I've been saying it all year. So talented. And they all did last night. I just want to say as well, Liam Cooper, that was emotional, I can't lie. What a legend. What a legend. But we'll talk back about that as things develop, if they do, about him leaving. Yeah, what a legend. What a legend. But yeah, responsibility is the word I've been talking about so much. And people have been saying in my comments, how can they take responsibility if the manager doesn't? And I said the manager has a certain role in that, of course. But on the pitch, it's down to the players to perform what the manager asks them to do in a way in which he wants them to. Most effective. And they did that. Every single player played their role right. And that's the result. Every single player took responsibility. Every single one of them took responsibility. And that's the result. They took the risks when they had to. They were selfish when they had to. They were selfless when they had to be. Every single one of them knew their role, and they used that, and they played the way Daniel Farke wanted them to. That's the way. That's the true side of it. That's what he wants them to play like. That's the product right there. And using that crowd's energy, using that freedom of the pitch, using that desire, using that passion, we destroyed Norwich. Well and truly destroyed them. Well and truly. We were unstoppable last night. Every player had their moment, every one of them. Now it's time to do it one more time. I don't care who we play. I could not care less who we play. We are here now. And I'm ready. I believe in this team. One more game. One more chance. Let's do it. I appreciate everyone. Let's go. One more time.